Here in Vancouver, a lot of people talk about real estate. All the time, people in Vancouver are talking about real estate. Investing in real estate in Canada is expensive. And I'm not just talking about the house price. I'm talking about all the other costs associated with buying and selling real estate in big markets like Vancouver and Toronto. Today's video is about how to use the cash value inside your participating whole life insurance policy to invest in real estate. We're not talking about the down payment today, but all of the other costs associated with buying and selling real estate, like the fees and the charges and construction and interest and taxes and permits and on and on and on. And it doesn't stop. There's other videos here on YouTube about how to use infinite banking or cash flow banking for the down payment when you're real estate investing. And some of the US videos talk about using your life insurance policy to straight up buy the property, but their housing prices are way different than ours. I still suggest you watch those ones because leveraging your life insurance policy for real estate investing is a great idea and it gives you a huge advantage. So I'm going to talk specifically about 5 reasons why you would use your participating policy to pay for the cost associated with real estate investing, other than the down payment. So when we talk about storing your money inside a life insurance policy for real estate, most people immediately think about how much they need to save for a down payment. But most people generally aren't going to be putting their full down payment in their life insurance policy in one shot. This is usually something you'll build over time. What you want to do is start early and start putting your money into the policy so it's ready to go when you need it. Number 1, the first reason that you want to start putting money into your insurance policy now, if you're investing in real estate, is to have the money ready so that you can pull the trigger when you need it. You need to load it up before you can use it. And when that opportunity comes up, you don't want to be trying to set up your insurance policy and then go get all the lending, and it's going to take a couple months. You want to be ready to go with your policy that's already fat with cash when you need to sign a check. We call this having your bullet fund. You have your bullet ready when it's time to take the shot. And opportunities don't last forever. And a lot of the pieces of the real estate transaction are time bound and have due dates. So it's best to be fully cashed up and ready to go when it's time to pull the trigger and write a check. Number 2, another reason using the life insurance policy to store your cash is a good idea is so that you can take unstructured loans from the insurance company anytime. These are called policy loans and they don't report on your credit. If you've got cash values in your policy, the insurance company is contractually required to give you the policy loan if you ask for it. And generally, you can get up to 90% of your cash surrender value. Some great uses for policy loans is for deposits if you're doing pre-sales or you're paying selling and buying costs or fees or the extra stuff like lawyer and realtor commission or paying for an appraiser or renovation. These add up in the real estate game and you always need an extra 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand or more, right? You always need it and you can always get it from your policy. And the delivery is quick. You'll get your money deposited within a couple days of filling out a request. And maybe like 10 days if you're asking for a check to get mailed out, but really no clients right now are asking for checks to get mailed out anymore. It's pretty much all direct deposit. Number 3, your cash values accessed as a policy loan are also great as a float if your rental property is vacant for a couple months. So we know this is a big risk of real estate. Your property's sitting empty, but you still have to pay all the costs, the mortgage, strata, utilities, whatever, right? The cash values don't always have to be a down payment to be valuable. Being there as an emergency float is super valuable when you need it. Number 4, your use of policy loans is totally private. The insurance company doesn't report to your credit, and it's not going to tell anyone that you've leveraged your policy. So if you're getting qualified for mortgages and you don't want anything to touch your credit or cause issues or flags, policy loans are great because they're private and they don't have any connection to your credit. That being said, of course, you should always be open and honest about your financial situation with your bank and your lender, including any open credit facilities, but the insurance company is not going to be the one to tell them. Number 5, and this is sort of like number 3, but a little bit different reason. And we actually have a client that did this exactly with his policy. So here in Vancouver, there can be significant delays associated with renovations and permitting. Things that could take weeks in other places take months here in Vancouver. So having a line out against your policy can give you that liquidity to service the property while waiting for the city to sign off on something while you still need to carry all the costs on the property. And that was 5, but bonus number 6. Once you have your policy set up and you've been funding it and you're leveraging it to pay the fees and other costs and the associated fees with investing in real estate, you'll find that you have a good amount of cash built up in the policy. You could have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in there, and then it becomes a great source for your next down payment. And when you've got hundreds of thousands in your policy, it also opens up your lending to more types of lenders. So that's it for today. We talked about 5 ways that you can use your cash value inside your whole life policy to invest in real estate. And we actually talked about 6 because there was a bonus. Number 1 is use your life insurance policy as your bullet fund so that when the opportunity presents itself, you have the cash and you're ready to go. You can take that shot. Number 2, we talked about using policy loans from the insurance to pay the various fees and costs associated with buying, like lawyers, taxes, renovations, fees, permits, all that. 3, we talked about using the cash in your policy if you ever need to cover a vacancy. Your insurance policy can be an emergency fund. And we know that in real estate, there's always going to be hiccups and there's always going to be emergencies. And it's best to have a nice fat cash reserve when those come up. And 4, we talked about how a policy loan from the insurance company is private. So there's value to being able to access your money privately, where it's not going to report to a credit bureau and it's not going to mess up other lending that you have going on. And 5, we talked about how you need money in real estate to cover delays where you've got carrying costs, right? So this could be while waiting for permits from the city, or it could be for whatever. And it's good to always be able to access cash value in your policy while you're waiting months and months and months that it can take for city to issue licensing or permitting or whatever. And if you can't already tell, ask me how I feel about that. And then there was a bonus, right? Number 6. So while you're using your policy to fund all of these things that are not a down payment, you're actually building up hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars inside your policy, which can now become that down payment. All in all, using a big life insurance policy to fund the various parts of your real estate investing empire is a good idea. The whole life insurance cash values and real estate go well. They go really well hand in hand. And if this is something you want to know more about, or if you want us to look at your situation and give recommendations of how to set this up, please reach out through our website and we'll book a time. There's a link in the video description and that goes straight to our site where you can request more info and we'll set up a meeting time. So that's it for today. You know what to do. If you love this video and you got value, please hit like or leave a comment, share, and this tells the algorithm that we are awesome and that you love this video and to show it to more people. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time.